Today's video is something I've actually been looking forward to yapping about for a while. Let's get into how I'm surviving and thriving through this postpartum season. I feel like everybody always focuses on the baby and the milestones that the baby is making each week, each month, but what about mom's milestones? How is mom healing and adjusting? Are you coming back to life? Are you finding your way back to you? Or creating and sculpting this new version of you that's even better than the one before? Because I definitely do think that that's possible. Postpartum is a lot, especially as a first-time mom. Truly, nothing can prepare you for it. Your body is different, your energy is low, you're learning on the job how to keep this new tiny human alive, and at the same time you still have all the same expectations and responsibilities as before with work, relationships, your household, just life in general. So like I said, it is a lot. But I do believe that there's a way that as moms, we can figure out how to thrive in this season and not just survive. Of course, thriving is going to look a little different for everyone. Maybe for you, that's carving out time to do a hobby that you enjoy or getting out of the house by yourself. Maybe it's simply figuring out how to stop feeling like you're playing catch up all the time and coming up with a schedule or routine that better serves your family. For me, it's making time for the things that help me feel good, not waiting around for the right time to present itself, but intentionally making the time each day. I didn't want to overwhelm myself by making any big, lofty goals or routine changes or be I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and get all the things done, because let's face it, those huge adjustments on top of every other big, huge adjustment that I've just made in my life, it's really hard to stick to that. And then I just end up letting myself down when I can't live up to that promise that I made to myself, which then makes it even harder to achieve the next thing because I can't trust and respect that I'm going to do what I promised myself that I'm going to do, So instead, I'm starting with very small things, little things that I can make time for each day that are honestly just the basic parts of most people's everyday routine. But I'm trying to be really intentional with it. Just that small mental shift of focusing on doing a few things for me before the rest of my day is consumed by doing things for others has really, really changed how the rest of my day flows. And I find that the day ends up being a little bit more productive in the end. First things first, I start the day with the right intention, which funny enough, that intention actually starts the night before. Today we woke up at 8 a.m. We typically always wake up between 8 and 8:30, but in order to do that, I actually set that intention the night before. Ford goes to sleep at his scheduled bedtime between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. We do bedtime routine with bath, book, and a bottle every single night, no skips. I know that if he has a consistent bedtime routine each night, I'm setting him up for a good night's rest and a good day tomorrow. So why don't we do the same thing for ourselves? As hard as it is, because I know you want to scroll all night. I'm the same way, but bestie, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Put the phone down. Go to bed at a decent hour so that you're not dragging in the morning, especially if you are breastfeeding, which takes a lot of energy out of you, energy that you don't even feel like you're expending, yet your body knows it. So you need that extra sleep. If you know you have an early wake up, why are you staying up till midnight watching TikToks? I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to myself. I actually had to set up an app on my phone that blocks some of my apps at night so that I cannot get on social media or pretty much anything besides Audible, Spotify, and YouTube between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. I try my hardest to be in bed, skincare done, teeth brushed, all of that good stuff by 10 p.m. And then I'll just turn on an audiobook or a podcast in my headphones to help me fall asleep, because with a baby, you never know what the night will bring. Will he sleep through the night? Will he wake up 5 times? Not really sure, but I do know that I never regret getting as much sleep as possible. Ira started back at work a couple weeks ago after being on paternity leave for 16 weeks, so we're still kind of settling into a schedule that works for us during the day. And because his schedule is pretty flexible, every day is a little bit different. He works from home, so he can put 4 in the carrier and wear him for a nap, or put him down in his bassinet for a nap if I need him to. But majority of the day-to-day stuff is on me during work hours. So since I have to be in that ready to go super mom, juggling work and parenting mode all day, every day, getting ready for the day is a must for me. I am a big believer in look good, feel good. And I've noticed that my days are just so much better when I take the time to get ready for the day. It's not anything crazy. Like, I'm not putting on a whole fit. A lot of times it's just like fresh sweatpants or a matching set, but it's clean and I'm clean. And that's another thing. Showers daily, non-negotiable. If I have time, I'll do it at night, or if I worked out at night, then I'll shower at night. But if it's getting close to that like 10 p.m. bedtime, I'll just shower in the morning. I cannot let a day go by without showering, especially with these postpartum sweats. They have tapered off, but every now and then it still hits me, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Feeling clean just does wonders for your mental health, and that is not something that I want to play with in this postpartum season. So showering every day, even if all you have time to do is hit the important bits and skip the everything shower, you will still feel better than if you let yesterday's dirt roll over onto today.
So in the spirit of looking good, feeling good, skincare is also a top priority of mine, which is why I'd like to thank Merit Beauty for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Merit is a minimalist beauty brand with vegan, cruelty-free, and non-comedogenic products, which means that it won't clog your pores. I'm not really like a big makeup girly. That's just not me. I usually go for just a little something to help like smooth out my complexion, add some color, some dimension to my face. I really don't like makeup that feels too heavy on my skin, especially now that I spend so much of my day like snuggled up with Four, like right against my face. And I just don't really want all of my makeup all over him when I'm just like, you know, kissing all over his face. So I love that Merit's products feel very light on my skin. They're designed to be buildable, easy to use, and impossible to mess up, which is perfect for me because, like I said, I am not a makeup girly, so it's gonna be just like a little mini makeup tutorial for what I do for my 10-minute makeup routine in the morning. So first things first, obviously I always start with skincare. I actually already washed my face in the shower. I used their Great Skin Double Cleanse Face Wash. This exfoliates just a little bit and it also removes your makeup. So I use this in the morning and at night. Then I follow up with the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum and then their Great Skin Priming Moisturizer, which doubles as a moisturizer and a primer for my makeup. All right, now let's get into the makeup. For my base, I love wearing the Uniform. It's a tinted SPF. I'm wearing shade 10, although I probably honestly could go to shade 12 because being a newborn mom, this skin has not seen the sun all summer long. We've been in the house. This is a mineral sunscreen. It's tinted, but it's also SPF 45, which I absolutely love because it means that I don't have to do yet another step of putting on sunscreen. I can just do sunscreen and my base all in one. I just love that this just gives a little bit of color to my face, evens out my complexion. I don't need to do a full foundation. And honestly, the fact that this is called the Uniform is perfect. You guys will see later on in the video, everything that I'm doing these days to get ready, I am really trying to consolidate into a uniform routine that I do day in and day out so that I don't have to think about it. I don't have any surprises. So the Uniform is my new go-to for doing my makeup every single morning. After that, I go in with the Bronze Balm in the shade Leo. I went just a little bit darker than my skin tone so that I could use it as more of a contour, and I love how easily it just glides onto my cheeks. Like I said, all of their products are super buildable, and to me, it feels more like skincare products than makeup. I'll just blend this in. It doesn't feel like cakey at all. After that, I add a little bit of their Flush Balm to my cheeks as just a little blush. This is in the color Postmodern. I honestly used to be so scared of blush because not a lot of brands make colors that look good on brown skin. And I love that this one is more of like a deeper shade instead of it being like overly bright and pink. That just does not really look great on me, but this adds a nice little pop of color to my cheeks without it looking too crazy. Like honestly, just this little bit of color makes me look just a touch more alive, which is definitely needed on the days where I'm breastfeeding what feels like nonstop and attempting 4 bassinet naps. There's no reason for me to look like what I'm going through. And then for just a little extra glow on my cheeks, I am using their Dayglow Highlighting Balm in the shade Solstice. I just rub this right on top of my cheeks, right where I actually just put the blush, and you can see, hopefully, it's just a little bit of a glow, like a shimmer, without it being too sparkly. I like that it has a nice sheen to it and it just kind of catches the light. But like I said, it's not a bunch of sparkles on my face. Nothing wrong with the sparkle, but I don't need that for every day. And I mean, honestly, that is a wrap on my everyday makeup routine. I told y'all I don't do too much. Normally we would do my eyelashes, but I actually have a lash appointment later on today, so that's why I'm just gonna leave these puppies blank for right now. Just kidding, I almost forgot to put a little something on my lips. I'm gonna use Merit's Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil. This is in the shade Mapleton. Usually I just do like a gloss for every day, so this tinted lip oil is perfect. It has just a little bit of red, which keeps the like brown parts of my lips from looking ashy on camera. If you have brown lips, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a struggle, but I really love their tinted lip oil. That is actually a wrap on my everyday makeup routine, and I love that it's rooted in actual skincare and taking care of my skin and putting products on my skin that allow it to still breathe and shine. That literally took me, I will put it right here on the screen, but I think that took me like 7 minutes total, so it's actually less than a 10-minute makeup routine, which is so important in these early days of figuring out how to do mom life. So you can get up to 15% off of Merit's exclusive sets on their website. I will link everything that I used today, everything that's in my little makeup kit and in my skincare routine. I'll have all those links down in the description below for you. And then if it is your first order, you will also get their signature makeup bag for free, and you will also get free shipping. Thank you again to Merit for sponsoring this portion of today's video and for creating makeup products that actually feel so light and so good on my skin.
Now, another little rule that I live by that I actually adopted for my days as a sorority girl is the 2 out of 3 rule. This is going to sound crazy, but if you've been in a white sorority, you can probably relate. When we walked around campus, we were supposed to have 2 out of 3 things done at all times: makeup, hair, or outfit. And yeah, I know it sounds crazy and controlling, but I think they were actually onto something there. Like, just try it for yourself. Adopt the 2 out of 3 rule and tell me you don't look and feel more put together. If you've got a bummy outfit on, who cares, because the face is beat and your hair is brushed. You threw your hair up in a messy bun. Okay, I love it. I love a messy bun, but let's elevate it with a cute outfit and a little makeup. Not feeling makeup today? No worries, as long as you have on a cute outfit and your hair doesn't look like you just rolled out of bed. For me, hair is usually pretty easy. I just find a simple hairstyle and I just wear the heck out of that style, babe. Now is not the time to be trying new styles every single day. There are no awards given for having the most unique lineup of hairstyles. Unless you want to, then I love that for you. Send me pics. But for me, I'm trying to live my life like a cartoon character. Cartoon characters don't switch up their hair. It's the same shit day in, day out, and that's what I'm trying to be on. 4 is currently in his hair grabbing era, and we will probably be here for a while, so I do try to keep my hair pulled back out of my face. I've been doing a slick pony, but honestly, I think I'm gonna have to retire that soon because my hair is shedding like crazy. So I probably shouldn't be putting any extra tension on my scalp, which is also why I haven't gotten my braids redone. And y'all know I love my braids, but I just cannot do those right now until my hair stops falling out in literal clumps. So I've also been doing straight down with a clip pulled back when my silk press is fresh, or if it's been a few weeks, I'll do some wand curls or waves to like stretch it those last 1 to 2 weeks until it's time for a new silk press. And while I'm thinking about it, that is actually another tip that I have: high maintenance to be low maintenance. Every single month I get my hair, lashes, and nails done. It lasts a full month. Well, really more like 3 weeks, but I'm gonna stretch it to a month just for the sake of my own schedule and wallet. But those things are done for the month, and then that's one less thing that I have to think about every day as I'm getting ready because it's pretty much already done. I also always try to book next month's appointment before I even leave the salon so that I don't have to remember to do it later when I get home. As a mom, and especially as a working mom, we already have a million things to remember. So don't let me forget to book my hair appointment and then be looking stupid when my lady can't squeeze me in. I hate when that happens, and that's literally how I used to live my life up until I had 4, and now I don't have time to play those games anymore. So appointments get booked before I leave the salon every single time. So getting dressed postpartum is different, to say the least. I have so many clothes in here, but not everything fits me. Obviously, my body is different now, different than how it was at the beginning of the year when I was pregnant and in maternity clothes. So a lot of those clothes that I bought for that time period are too big. And then different from my body last year, and like basically the body that I've had my entire life since high school. My size hasn't really changed much from then until now. So I have a lot of clothes in here that are just currently too small for me to wear. And then just like the way that things fit on my body is just different. So like even if I'm able to like physically get it on, some things are just tight in places that I don't really want to be wearing tight fitting clothes. And you guys get it. So I'm not gonna go too much into it. But what has really been helpful for me is trying to figure out like a uniform, if you will. Coming in here and trying to get dressed, I don't want to have to like sift through clothes and figure out what fits, what's gonna look good on me every single day. Not only is that going to be terrible for my mental health, constantly trying on clothes that are too small for me and then being disappointed when they don't fit, but also ain't nobody got time for that. I naturally already felt myself gravitating towards the same outfits and pieces day after day, so I just decided to lean into that. Like I said, I'm on my cartoon character shit. If I'm dressing down, it's usually leggings and a t-shirt that's easy to nurse in. Ease of nursing is definitely at the top of my priority list these days. If I can't whip out a titty in 15 seconds or less, I'm not wearing it. For a casual look, it's usually like loose pants, a nursing tank, and a sweater. Elevated casual is usually like comfy jeans and a button-down shirt. I tied this one up so that you could see the jeans and like how stretchy they are because the shirt is really long, but I actually do need to get new jeans to wear with my button-downs because only one pair of my old jeans fit, and this new pair that I bought myself a month ago is already too big. So basically RIP to all of my favorite jeans. But anyway, those are some examples of the little outfit formulas, if you will, that I came up with, and that's pretty much what I stick to. Well, that and a set. I love a good set, and I love a jumpsuit. Literally requires zero thinking, zero planning. Just throw the whole thing on and you're done. So normally I would be done with my morning routine right now and we would be starting the day. I'd be working on whatever project or brand deal I have on schedule for the day. But the reality of being a content creator is that
this was pretty much what I had on schedule to do for the day. And recording my morning routine takes longer than just the actual morning because I've got to move the camera all around. I've got to get all the different angles. I had to try on all those different outfits. That's the part that influencers don't really talk about because it breaks the fourth wall a little bit. And it can be quick sometimes to just like bring the camera around and just quickly record whatever you're doing. But because I don't do like a ton of videos like this, I'm more so used to just recording myself doing projects. It does take me a little bit longer than just the actual morning to record myself doing a morning routine. That being said, I do have one more thing that I want to chat about, so we're going to go for a walk. I do not normally have time for both a bike ride and a walk still as part of my morning routine, but since this video is what's on the agenda for the day, let's just go walk and talk. The final step of my morning routine that I will admit has been a little bit lower on my priority list than I'd like it to be, but we're fixing that, is moving my body. As a new mom, your body just did a miraculous thing. Growing a whole human, bringing that child into the world, and then your body just has to put itself back together again with very little help. And if you're breastfeeding like I am, your body is still sustaining life for another person. So we really got to treat our bodies with the respect they deserve. And for me, that means a few different things. One is taking my vitamins and supplements that will help my body heal. Continuing to take my prenatals or postnatal vitamins after birth is so imperative to replenish all of those nutrients that your body just spent the last 10 months giving away. And I've also been going to pelvic floor therapy and getting C-section scar massages. Side note, those things hurt like hell, but the pelvic floor exercises have really been helpful in strengthening my deep core, building that strength back, and healing my ab separation. As the previous lifetime owner of a 4-pack, having a weak core is like honestly really killing me. Like literally, my body does not know how to function with such a weak core. So it's finding other ways to compensate, which is, like throwing my body all out of whack. And then add on to that, since I'm holding 4 a lot, rocking him to sleep, he's always on my left side. And so my body is always kind of like twisted in an unnatural way, which makes the muscles on one side of my body pull tighter than the other, again, leading to more back problems. So in order to keep that from becoming too much of an issue, I've also been continuing to go to the chiropractor and getting monthly massages to help ease some of that tension and even things back out. Aside from that, I'm really just making it a priority to move my body at least once a day, every single day. Some days that looks like taking a walk. Some days I'll turn on like a Grow with Joe workout on YouTube on the TV and do that inside. Some days I will bike on the Peloton, but I know that I'll never get the body that I want, both like aesthetically and fitness wise, if I don't start somewhere. I do definitely believe in giving yourself grace and time to heal, and I don't think that you should rush right into working out postpartum, especially if you had a C-section like I did. But I think we should also be realistic with ourselves and accept the fact that nothing changes if nothing changes. I'm not expecting to bounce back, but unless I start putting in the work to slowly get myself to where I want to be, it's never going to happen. And achieving those goals will only get harder the longer that I wait and the older that I get. Honestly, I just can't wait to feel strong again. So I'm starting slow with easier movements and then just working my way back to that. So since I broke the fourth wall earlier, I bet you were thinking about how many times I had to move my tripod around to get all of those shots of my walk, weren't you? Yeah, those are the types of things that we don't want you to focus on in the video, which is why nobody ever talks about that. But it is kind of crazy when you think about how many times you have to do an action twice just to get it on camera. So we walked 2.5 miles, and it probably was actually more than that because I had to walk and go set up the tripod and then walk back and then walk and do the thing and then walk back and get the tripod. It's a lot. But that is the end of my morning routine. Even though it is no longer morning, I feel like I have already lived a full life before noon most days after my morning routine is done. And then somehow we still have 2 to 3 more naps, some more wake windows, more emails to answer, projects to do, just so many things. The days are long, but the years are short. That could not be more true. But weirdly enough, somehow the days feel both long and too short to get anything done. I don't know. It's crazy. But one thing that I do know is that I never regret putting myself first thing in the morning, because if I don't, who knows when I'm going to have time to brush my teeth, get dressed, get my workout in for the day. So that is something that has really, really been helping me postpartum. And it is something that I feel like can help a lot of you out there if you just make that mental shift and set your intention for the day that you're going to focus on you for at least the first part of the day. Hopefully by sharing some of these tips and sharing with you guys what I'm struggling with in my motherhood and postpartum journey, you guys can take something from that and feel like you're not alone, or maybe apply some of the things that I talked about to your own morning routine. Take what works for you, leave the rest. What's that saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. I realize that what I do isn't gonna work for everybody, and shit, what I do doesn't even work for me every single day. Today was the perfect example of a morning routine because I cleared my whole day to film the morning routine. Not every single morning looks like this. Some days I don't have time to work out. Some days I don't end up getting dressed. Some nights 4 falls asleep really late, and so then I want to let him sleep in a little bit longer in the morning to make sure that he gets enough sleep. So not every single day is going to be perfect, but for me, it's all about setting that intention of how I want my morning to go so that I can start the day off on the right foot. And then the whole day after that just feels a little bit easier without these things hanging over me of like, oh, I still haven't gotten dressed, or I still haven't gotten my workout in. So I say all of that to say, just be a little bit more selfish with your time because you deserve it. Thanks again to Merit for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget that you can use my link down in the description to save 15% off of a beauty set. Leave me a comment if anything that I said in this video resonated with you. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys back here for more motherhood, DIY, everyday life. Bye, homies.
What you going through, I wanna be down.